Right, now this is by far one of the most heavily requested things I talk about, and given the movie's coming out soon, I better talk about this soon, you know? So in today's video, I'm giving you my impressions on the Joker trailer. I haven't seen the movie yet, some people have. I don't have that kind of limited edition access, if you couldn't tell, but I'm giving you my general impressions on what I think the movie will be like, and what I'm excited about, and what I'm worried about, and all that jazz. So, let's begin. First thing I just want to mention is we've had so many Jokers lately, and that's mostly because it's just such a loved character. So many people want to see the Joker. It's like one of the most heavily requested DC villains out there, and since Heath Ledger's Joker, which is basically the one everyone always compares the new Joker to, we've had Lego Batman Joker, we've had Jared Leto Joker in Suicide Squad, and of course for the longest time we've always had Mark Hamill Joker. Now we have another Joker, and this one doesn't appear to be attached to the DCEU that I know of, unless there's some master Easter egg at the end of this one. But the thing that separates this film with Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker is that he is now the protagonist. He's not playing the villain of a greater story. This is told from the perspective of the Joker, and for the first time since like Jack Nicholson Joker, we actually have a little bit of an introduction, an origin story, if you will. But even Jack Nicholson Joker, he wasn't the main character. He was playing the villain of a greater story, and I think that gives this film a whole lot of potential. So this is something I am excited about, giving the Joker a name, a face, and a backstory that we can really try to connect with. And after watching the trailer several times, the thing I notice is this Joaquin Phoenix Joker doesn't appear to be doing anything wrong. I'm not exactly sure if I'm okay with that. You know, it's interesting if you want to give a backstory to a guy who sees his life as a comedy and tries to see the funny side and can creepily laugh, you know, and put on makeup and paint. But at the end of the day, the Joker's still a bad guy, right? Are you kind of drifting off from your source material if he suddenly becomes a victim of society and the way society treats him, whether it be people beating him up or therapists not understanding him or people laughing at him? Does that make us just feel bad for the Joker and relate to him? And then by the end of this film, are we not even going to see the Joker as a villain? I guess if you can do that in a way that's interesting and thought-provoking, it doesn't make the movie bad. It just kind of makes it drifting a little bit from the source material, because at the end of the day, the Joker is supposed to be crazy and insane and overall, you know, a bad person, but I'm honestly not getting that much of that from the trailer. From what I'm watching in the trailer, it seems like society and the city of Gotham that he's living in is just treating him like trash, and this is just him responding to all of that. But the very fact that the trailer is getting me to discuss that internally means that I feel like there's probably some decent screenwriting and some good character motivations that's being handled in this film. It's very twisted and tormented, but it's kind of playing into that interesting idea that a villain or an antagonist of any story doesn't see themselves as the villain. And if this film's job is to get us to relate with the Joker and make us feel bad for him and make us understand him better, then in a way it is teaching us that a villain or an antagonist is not bad in their own story. They're the hero from their own perspective. And that way, I'm kind of glad that they're giving some kind of new and unique perspective. Everyone knows the Joker's crazy, everyone knows he puts on makeup, but if you give backstory and motivation behind all that, I guess that's doing something a little bit more unique and original than Jokers in the past have done. You know, both Heath Ledger's Joker, as amazing as he was, and Jared Leto's Joker, as disappointing as he was for a lot of people, both of them just kind of exist. They hint at a backstory, they hint at origins, but for the most part, they just kind of already have a backstory and enter into a larger one with kind of a mysterious element, with kind of, man, what happened to him? How did he get here? But we never really see it. With Heath Ledger's Joker, of course, they'll always reference to, you want to know how he got these scars, but the stories keep changing. That's why I think it's absolutely stupid that so many people out there are already comparing the Joaquin Phoenix Joker to the Heath Ledger Joker, either saying it's not gonna top Heath Ledger's Joker, or some people out there saying it's better than Heath Ledger's Joker. They're different, guys. They're very, very different approaches. While apples and oranges are both fruit, they are fundamentally different flavors and different experiences. The fact that Heath Ledger was not the main character of The Dark Knight, some of you are probably gonna try to argue with me on that and say, actually, Joker was the main character, but you know what I'm talking about. That was a Batman movie with Heath Ledger as the villain. This is Joaquin Phoenix Phoenix as the protagonist, as our main character, and it seems like the world or society is the villain, with no sign of Batman in the film, which I think is quite intentional. Whether or not they plan on following up this movie with an actual Batman versus Joker at some point, it'll create a very interesting perspective from the audience if we definitely relate to the Joker and we feel for him and we know why he's acting the way he is. Will that make Batman feel like more of an antagonist and more of a non-relatable villain? And if that's the case, I'm kind of fine with DC trying to do something unique and different, because before, it just felt like they were trying to directly replicate the Marvel universe, except without any fun or joy or creativity, just by making everything dark and scary. And if they just try to make all the bad guys good guys and all the good guys bad guys, then I may be interested. I think they may have the opportunity to do something special, but it is DC, so I feel like there's always a chance they could screw things up. But ultimately, as long as Joaquin Phoenix's performance is very thought-provoking and shows us a really interesting character arc from start to finish to see kind of the fall and rise of this person, and we start to understand the way they behave and we understand their attitude and why he has that insane laugh, then I think overall, whether it's catering to the source material or not, it can be an enjoyable picture, which is why, for the most part, I'm excited to see this movie. A very interesting take on the anti-hero, using a very, very iconic character we've known for decades, but providing a unique and new perspective on him that we haven't seen in cinematic film before. I'm sure in comic books and maybe TV shows we've seen this kind of thing, but I'm talking about feature films here, not talking about animated series at the moment, just because I haven't seen them. If I had the time to, I would, but honestly, I just don't. But when this movie comes out, I'll definitely be giving it a watch, because I want to see how they can handle films outside of trying to just replicate what Marvel's already done, and this seems like they're trying to give a twist to things. And Joaquin Phoenix is a great actor. I like what he's done in the past, and I think he has the potential to give a very, very memorable performance, similar to the Heath Ledger Joker performance back in The Dark Knight, which was over 11 years ago. Can you believe that? So much time has passed. Anywho, let me know what you think of the Joker trailer, what you think of Joaquin Phoenix's portrayal. Are you excited? Are you worried? Are you concerned for what they're going to do with the character? Do you want this to be part of a bigger cinematic universe, or would you be happier if it was just independent on its own, just little Joker thought-provoking movie, and then we move on to other characters and new stories? Let me know what you're thinking by hitting me up over on Twitter or joining our Discord. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have an excellent day. Take care.